So just explain why you're rubbing it down.
Just to see if there is any original markings underneath, but highly unlikely because it's been restored so many times.
And what kind of markings would you find?
Well, you'd expect to see a star there. Sometimes the star was under, they screwed this over the gear shift gate over the star. You might find numbers on it somewhere, or a regiment, or whatever they called it. So you've got 45. This means it's 16,920th engine built in 1945. Which again, we knew it had the wrong engine in it. It's got the original olive drab paint on it, which it should have because the engine casings were green. And the way we've ascertained it's 1944, 43, but later they should be green casings. That's 1945. So D is January, February, March, April. Engine, that casting was made in April 1945. Just put a bit of paint stripper on it. I ain't got a clue what that is. No idea whatsoever.
And the great reveal reveals nothing.
That's 499, that could mean anything, I don't know. But the good thing is, it is a, so made this engine till like 73 or something, but at least it is a 1945 engine.
What's that number on inside there?
That's just a casting number. It's 11239. So that was a 19. Basically, that probably means that was part number 112, cast in 19, or not cast in 39, but the design was made in 39. I'm sure if I look it up I'll find it, but so that number 16920 don't tally anything on that frame, does it? No. 263T45. No idea what that is.
As you say, that shouldn't be there anyway, should it?
No, it shouldn't be there. You see the ground on the frame up. Might have been to register it in Holland or something, I really don't know. That's the gearbox casing. And somewhere there's a date casting code in this as well, and I can't remember where it was now.
So each of the major components do have some kind of numbered stamp on them, but because of the field repairs it could be all mixed and matched.
Yeah, pretty much. See, that's got a 1 and a V. So it could be done out in a Mark IV, but I don't think they ever sort of called them that. I think that was after the war they sort of called them whatever marks they were. So that's 1943, so 3, and you've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So that's July 1943 that was made. But like you say, it could have been made in 43 and sat on a shelf in a store somewhere and fitted when the other one blew up or anything. It's all wartime, without a doubt. But you're into guesswork as to whether it's totally original or not, you know. But again, original olive drab. So that, to me, says that that bike did have the painted casings, which makes it a Mark, whatever we said, 4 or 3. See, that's the later 1941 part number. Because before that they had 2 bolts and a different gear change for the 40 and 41 WLA. Do you remember that Kubel wagon we had?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That had all the Wehrmacht numbers on it still.
Yeah, yeah, I've got pictures of that.
The speedo cover, because it's radio suppression, it should have a blue S here, which I'm trying to imagine is there, but it isn't.
Yeah, as I said, it's just now you started rubbing it, I can almost see an S, but that's probably just my mind.
It's been filled, it's got so much filler in it as well. So, like the petrol tanks, we won't send to the blasters because obviously they can block them off, but I don't like sending tanks to blasters. I just get grit in them, you know. So they'll all be finished by hand. headstock bearings holders out, so they're cleaned up, ready to go to the zinc platers. So I'm just going to make a pile for the zinc plate. Obviously the light switch, they do come apart and you can get the outer cover off, but there's no point in sending it to blast. That'll all be stripped by hand. The cover off of that, nice original one, Delco RiE on it, made in USA, so that'll all get blasted. But obviously you can't send the actual unit, so all this will get cleaned up, the paint taken off it, because that should be zinc plated. Again, you can't zinc plate it, but you clean it up the best you can. You can buy solid state ones now, but these, they work fine as long as they're cleaned up, they're fine. Throttle and advance and retard twist grips, if you're ever doing a Harley, don't ever send them to the blasters, because you see the spirals in there, you never get all the grease out of them, all the grit goes in them spirals, and they're an absolute pig of a thing to clean out, and you just get sticky throttle and sticky advance and retard. So always do them by hand. Well, I do. There's a lot to be said for sending stuff for the blasters for time and ease of doing things, but you can add yourself a mountain of time on the other end if you send stuff that really doesn't need to go, you know. Like imagine an oil tank full of sand is going to ruin an engine in about 2 minutes. So
yeah. So the only number that's ever stamped on there would be on the engine.
Just the engine, that's the only number they ever had. That's the plate that was on the front mudguard. So it was rebuilt in America in 1948. Right, I've got to look into this because that's got 2 different caps, which isn't right, so we've got to get one or the other. I've just got to read up which one's which. That's your oil cap, that's your fuel cap. Obviously they're different, they shouldn't be different. That's the beauty of that anorak book over there. I can't remember how many different types there are of the fuel filler caps. There's a lot, you know, from year to year, and it's down to how many notches are in it, the depth of the notches.
What do you find is the best kind of thing to use to strip these down? Just any basic solvent?
Well, these will have so much filler in them, what I'll probably do is just hand sand them till we get to a nice level, and then give them a coat of what they call barrier. And then once that's all smoothed out, see that's the dent there, you can feel it. So I probably will have to strip that completely, get that high spot out. There's a dent there, so dent there. It probably will have to be completely stripped back to bare metal. Yeah, just industrial paint stripper basically.
Anything you'd advise not to use?
Don't make your life as easy as you can. Some people sand them down, some people grind them down. Don't do that, because you're just building yourself a world of trouble basically.
Any chemicals to avoid, like a nitromorphs or something?
No, nitromorphs is fine. Yeah, I mean, you're not really going to get a lot inside it. I'll flush it all out with petrol, check it for leaks. But as we know, as the bike was standing, it didn't really leak a lot. Your normal Harley leaks, but nothing out the tanks by the looks of it, I don't think. Yeah.
So this is the next logical step on the restoration, is once it's stripped down.
Yeah, I've stripped it down, and I've listed all the nuts and bolts, which is the first thing we did.
Yeah.
I've made the list that I gave you of things staring you in the face that are wrong, and then you go through it again before you send it to the blasters. So I need to count every piece, so I'll get the same amount back, so I know nothing's missing. Then get into the real nitty gritty.
So how long does the plasters take to do their job then?
If it's just blast and prime with no powder coating, I'd expect this lot back in a week. Now these are going to be truly horrible when they come back from the blasters, but they've got to go.
When you say they're going to be truly horrible, are they in bad condition then?
Yeah, they're all dented to shit, but it's what we do, isn't it? So send them off, see what comes back and repair it. This I want to do by hand, and people get them blasted and primed, and all the cog has paint on it, which it shouldn't have. Olive drab on the back face there. That rivet on plate I believe should be black, so I can mask that off and get that all painted black properly. But I'll have to double check that. I'm pretty sure that's black. It probably might have been parkerised actually. A dynamo I'll do by hand. Quite nice, that's an original 1940s suppressor on there. Delco ream, it's got the right part number on it. 25, I think MFG's microfarads, I'm not sure. It's got the original tiny little Harley Davidson stamp there, that means it was made for Harley back in the day. Totally original piece. Again, that can be done by hand. You can see where the chains want a nice big hole in it when it's been running loose. Coil I'll do by hand because that's totally original. It's got the right, the ones that were non-radio suppressed didn't have this on it. That band to take you to earthing bands and the other suppressor. So that I'll do by hand. It's amazing really, it's a coil, expendable part, and that's from 1943 and it works.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. As you can see, my fingers no longer feel the pain from paint stripper.
I was watching you do that thinking, you shouldn't really be putting paint stripper on your fingers, should you? But
let's see, that's the original paint underneath, which is nice. Doesn't look like it's marked up with anything.
It's a much lighter green, isn't it?
Yeah, much lighter. I wouldn't have said that had markings on it at all, would you? No, sometimes I have a little date stamp on them somewhere, which is quite nice. The face has been off before.
Yeah, you said that.
Looks like it's an original olive drab one though. You can replace that plastic piece, which is where your dash lights go up through. It's going to have to come apart. He either wants a new one, but then if you get a RiE-Pro one, because these original are probably £1,000 now. I would have thought something like that.
Crikey.
Maybe a bit more. You can get RiE-Pros, but then you have to buy a different speedo cable because they haven't replicated that properly.
What would you do?
Personally, I'd keep the original but put a new face on it. I'd leave the numbers exactly as they are with that patina on it. It's got the right dome glass. Yeah, I'd buy a new outer ring, a new face and a new needle. You could probably paint that needle, but I'd leave the numbers as they are. And then you just get new rivets for it because they've obviously bodged that up when they've done it. But some people like to leave these original. You know, it's entirely up to you. And the only other thing to do is just replace that plastic, because otherwise you can't get your dash lights up through there at all. But all of these little bits are quite nice, like, see that washer on there? See, they're star washers, internal star washers. They've got a locating lug on them as well, like that. So they're all totally original. So it's nice just to keep all those little bits that are original, you know. That's your valves. Valve guides are inside. They're going to have to be done at an engineering shop. Obviously a rebore and sleeve. Well, hopefully not sleeve, just a rebore for the new pistons. But these you've got to get off. You've got to get the valves out anyway.
What contraption is that then?
Valve spring compressor. You got your valve goes through there. That's your valve head. Yeah.
Okay.
So that goes through the valve guide inside. That's your valve spring. And you have to compress it so you can get those two collets out either side. See that one? There's a gap there and there. They're tapered like that, and there's a groove in the bottom of the valve.
Okay.
So it can't come out. But what you want to do normally is just give them a little tap with a hammer because they get stuck. See, that's nearly out now anyway. And that one's nearly out now. So then you just get that one there. That's why you need to change the valve guides. Shouldn't have that play in it at all. So basically the spring goes on there, pushes against that. Yeah?
Okay.
Those two go in that groove. Well, that goes on first. See, that's tapered.
So where am I looking?
And the inside of that, so you've got a big hole that side, small hole that side, so that's your tapered face.
Okay.
So that goes on there, holds your spring. Those two go on, if you don't drop it on the floor. Those two go on there, and when you let go of the valve spring tensioner, it lets that go up there under the pressure of the valve, locks it in like that. See what I mean? I mean, that's so worn out and not sealing as it should do. That's the beauty of old Harleys, they'll still go. You know what I mean? That's all the little carburettor bits that need to be done. Original fuel strainer, fuel tap, fuel line is zinced, oil chain feed, spark plug wire ferrules, all of the choke mechanism and everything should be zinc coated. Bottom of the carburettor holds the bowl on against the stay, that's your throttle arm linkage, idle needle adjuster screw. The whole of that's got to be parkerised, pretty sure that's parkerised, I think that should be green. Rear brake pedal arm, that's parkerised. Kickstart spool, that's parkerised. Clutch pedals parkerised. Head stays parkerised. That's parkerised. It's your rear stand clamp. Rear axle's probably zinc, I would have thought. Pretty sure the spring should be black, not parkerised, but I'll check. Front spindle should be parkerised. Parkerised. There's another two boxes of this yet. They are. That is should be black. Parkerised. Definitely. That is. That's the kickstart pin. Parkerised. Can't even remember what that does.
Next week on the workshop.
Okay, well, later this afternoon or something.